Welcome, everybody, to Practical Psychology Podcast, episode 42. My name is Joseph Wong. I am one of the co hosts. Today, we're very happy to have Wen Shwu coming, and let me just spend some time introducing Wen Shwu because Wen Shwu has a long resume here. Wen Shwu right now is in the Master of Counselling Psychology degree, but even way before that, Wen Shwu is a faculty member at the Heaven Institute teaching experimental personal growth and relationship programs. Wen Xu also is the founder of the Train Coaching and Counseling in Taiwan with more than 20 years of experience in coaching, counseling, leadership development, experimental learning. Wen Xu is originated from Taiwan and right now she's living in beautiful Vancouver Island. And one more thing to say about Wen Xu here, Wen Xu is also an author. She already have one book and second book coming and the third book in the writing right now. And we can't wait here. Thank you, and Chu.
You, Joseph. It's what an honor to be acknowledged in your introduction. So I'm also listening to how you describe me. Thank you for your introduction. I look forward to this sharing on this podcast.
And
Yeah.
Chu, I'm very excited to have you here because in the podcast, we interview a lot of different people and a lot of people with significant work backgrounds. And I would say your background is very significant because you have been in the field for decades.
Yeah.
And the things that you are doing is also very interesting for the day-to-day leadership, experimental learning, relationship, and also you also is an author here. I don't even know where to start here.
Yes. I would say at this stage of my life, my career, professional career, into I would say it in two parts. The first half of my career is more in the business world. For example, I work for Hewlett Packard, a high tech industry. So I spent more than 20 years, in that industry. So, leadership, coaching, communication, multicultural, because Hewlett Packard is a company from United States. So the multicultural cross, the diversity communication is significant. So that kind of served as a foundation of my first career. And then, when I really established myself financially or social networking, but when that being ready, also, my personal marriage or families being kind of settled, I really allow myself to just be me and I pursue my second career. This is the passion. So counseling, it has been my passion. And I started up my company, The Trend. So it's a registered counseling coaching company in Taiwan. And then, yeah, just more than 20 years, working with the Haven Institute on Gabriola Island. Right now, I'm the core faculty member, leading programs, for example, personal growth, communication, or relational transformation. That's all, very core Haven programs, very experiential. And so, yeah, that's it. And now I'm also excited to just really, I want to be in the system, knowing this is my passion, working with Haven and participants, leading the programs and facilitating, with corporations on the coaching or counseling sessions that have been really exciting. But I do want to be included in the clinical system in Canada. That's why I am now on the third year of the Yorkville University, the Masters of Psychological Counseling Study. So I'm very excited. I'm going to start my practicum in September. Yeah, with Joseph. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow, when should there's a lot of things here. How about you tell us a little bit about how you
Mm.
started in HP. HP is a huge company, international.
Wow. Right. Uh-huh. Okay, so after graduated from university, like every young youth, right? People want to really get started in the society, earn money, be independent. Okay, so I graduated, at my age of 22nd. And then, of course, just, which company is the best
Yeah.
acknowledged in the society. So I applied IBM. Okay, at the time, really,
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
interested in high tech industry because of a really very superficial reason. High pay, good
Yeah.
material return, and the good networking. So start from very simple mind that I want to be acknowledged, I want to be successful. So Hewlett Packard accepted me, and I started there 14 years. So I worked for Hewlett Packard for 14 years, and my experience including administration, marketing, sales. I also doing sales work for Hewlett Packard. At the time, we sell computer, scanner, printer through retail channels. So I do have the experience in sales, marketing, administration, and finally, the last period of my Hewlett Packard career, I very honored to participated in management work. So yeah, I do have some leading experience, leading my team to achieve our goals. Yeah, that's Hewlett Packard. Mm.
That's amazing here when you make it sound so simple, but in that era you are applying for IBM, HP, those are like the biggest company. It's like right now, people graduating, they're applying for Google, Amazon, Tesla, the
Yeah.
biggest company. It is you make it sound so simple here, but it's really high level work here you have done in those 14 years.
Mhm. It's an interesting journey. I would say that career really trained me, very good organization skill,
Okay.
communication, strategic minded,
Okay.
into goal setting, taking actions, and also leveraging effective resources, especially the talents or manpower and in order to get the goal achieved. So when people having my clients, or potential participants having issues of where is my passion, I lost my passion at work, or how can I integrate, I do need to earn the bread, but at the same time I love to do something else. How can I bridge my passion with the reality, so that's all interesting topic, and I have been facilitating my participants, my clients, going through that career planning. Yeah.
And when you here and at that time HP, the type of work you're doing in Taiwan, is it correct?
Yes, and also Singapore because that I
Oh,
am working for the Asia Pacific at the time. Our
okay.
Asia Pacific Center located in Singapore.
Yeah.
So yeah, more is Taiwan, Singapore, of course, the Greater China area. That's also our
Oh,
networking
so you
at
travel
the
for
time.
work and there's a lot of international work exposure.
At the time, yes, yeah.
Wow, okay. Wow, that's
Mhm.
impressive here. When should tell us a little bit about you're working at HP in this high caliber position, and then how did you make the transition from that to
Yeah,
be, I guess, running a company to do coaching, counseling?
yeah. That Joseph, thank you. That's a very significant question
Yes. Yeah.
to tell who I am. 20 years in the high tech industry,
Yeah.
14 years with Hewlett Packard, the other, 5, 6 years with a investment bank. So
Okay.
that's, another company. So 20 years there, I actually, people just judging, oh, it's a really, high pay, you are well dressed, all the brand names on your decorations, many hats I'm wearing. And somehow, deep in my heart, I somehow there's some loss, who is Wen Shwu? Who is this authentic Wen Shwu? I'm so used to, achieve goals for other people, for my boss. But what is me? What inside? So there's, curiosity and adventures, mind starting. So when as I just said, when I'm ready, financially, everything I think is I'm solid. So I just took the chance, to take the opportunity of the immigration because at the time, my son wanted to, study in Canada. So I'm just applied immigration. So literally moving myself out of my roots, out of my comfort zone. So that was 20, the year of the millennium, the year of 20. I remember. So just with my son, and I also started this journey of pursuing who is Wen Shwu. I started, my second degree, my first degree, okay, in the university as my age of 18. But at my age of 40, I actually immigrated to Vancouver, started my second degree at UBC. You know what I study? I study fine arts. So I got my degree of fine arts. That's my first, adventure. I want to be, trying my art talent, which is a dream never fulfilled when I was a little girl. And then after UBC, I continued this profession, working, learning. I started learning, interning with the Haven Institute, and finally got my diploma in counseling at the Haven Institute. And then, that's a long journey from intern, from assistant, from leader. Right now, I'm, on the core
Mm.
faculty. So that's the journey. I started my second career, started from art and then people, because I love people. I love art. I love people. And I think these two things has been, with me, the second half of my life.
This is amazing here. Eventually, is the first time I hear this. So in
Yeah.
the 2000, your son want to study in Canada, so you make the a move, and then you
Yeah.
study your second degree of fine arts in UBC.
Right.
After that, you intern in the Heaven Institute and do the counseling. What type of
Yeah.
arts do you do?
Okay. I started with oil painting. That's how I applied UBC.
Okay,
That's my
okay,
portfolio.
okay,
And in UBC, they just open yourself to all the medias, like installation art,
okay,
photography, digital arts. I am all loving all kinds of media because art is actually an expression of who you are.
okay,
You can either through
okay.
oil painting, through photography, but more is what are you trying to say? Yeah.
Okay. And so went you from fine arts, oil painting, UPC. How do you get the connection with the Heaven Institute? Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Yes. It's very interesting. Haven has a series of core programs. It
Okay.
started by self awareness and then relational transformation. You know what? The final stage of the personal growth, it is actually in Haven. It is about creativity. It is how you can, when you are ready,
Mhm.
connected with yourself, emotionally, psychologically, physically connected with yourself. And at the same time, when you are feeling rich and full, you are ready to love the other person. So sometimes we get this opposite, oh, I'm empty, so I want somebody else to save me, to love me. No, I would say we start to, work on ourselves. And then when I'm feeling full and loving, I'm a loving piece, I'm a loving being, I'm ready to love my colleague. I'm ready to love my children. And of course, my lover. So that's the continuity. And then the final stage, interestingly, it is about creativity. So we do have a final phase. It's about creation, to say who you are. So right at the time, at that stage, the media doesn't matter. You can use drama, you can use, action, you can use artwork, but more it is how, you know, just be creatively, freely to be who you are, and yeah, that's the creative. So actually, so creative, the UBDC study, at the time, I have not knowing this, but now I appreciate my UBC study. It is yeah, the final stage of, how I can, right now I'm playing piano, believe it or not.
Okay.
I'm playing piano, so I don't limit myself, how I can be creative, be a artist for life, in life. Yeah.
Wow. So when you talk a little bit about this Haven Institute,
Yeah.
about I'm not very familiar with these. Can you tell us a little bit about what is this Haven Institute? Where are they located, and how do you
Yeah.
even get in touch with them in the first place?
Right. Okay. So Haven, located on Gabriel Island, founded by two uh, doctors. One is Bennett Wong, who passed away about 10 years ago. Bennett Wong is a Chinese born yellow skin. Okay. His race is Chinese, but he is the second generation educated in United States, fully Western psychology. He's a master, begin working with the youth. That's how he
So he's
started.
a psychologist.
Psychologist. He is a
Okay.
psychologist. So he's kind of a Chinese born, but educated in Western
Mhm.
society, Western culture. His major is psychology. He's a psychiatrist. The
Oh,
other
a
founder,
medical doctor, psychiatrist.
medical doctor. He's a
Okay.
medical
Okay.
doctor. And the other founder, interestingly, the opposite. He is a Western. His name is Jock McKean. Right now, he's living 10, 11 minutes away from my place. So we are good neighbors. And also, he has
Mm.
been my mentor all throughout
Mhm.
my life. So Dr. Jock McKean is a Western born, white skin, but he is just so adored the Chinese culture. So he accepted his acupuncture Chinese medication training in Oxford, in
Mhm.
England. So the two combined is like Haven is a East and West embedded, blended uh, uh, teaching. So the two doctors designed a series of programs. Phase one will be more about self awareness. Um, and phase two is more about relational transformation. Although there's many topics under the two umbrellas. And as I said, phase three is the new horizon. It's more the theory base of the phase one and two. So coming to the phase three, it is when people are really interested in helping career. They want to know more about the background of the theory, of the tools, of the application. That is phase three. And phase four is what I just said. It's about creativity.
Right, I see. Okay. So
Yeah.
when you
Mhm.
here for this Haven Institute, what do they do? Do they have courses for people to take and
Yeah. They have year-round workshops. The most famous one will be Come Alive, 5 days
oh, okay.
workshop. That's a classic, representative of the all the core programs. So if you are interested in what Haven is teaching, this will be the first program I would recommend. It's kind of in 5 days, you understand what is the whole thing. The
Mm.
longest program takes 25 days, and Come Alive. Actually, this program is also my first book uh, similar name, my first book, Coming Alive. I just want to really document also,
Okay.
document not just the program, but also my experience about that
Oh,
program, because not many people can afford the program. Speaking of the timing, the money. So that's my intention to have a book. You can spend
oh.
20 bucks, 15 bucks, and then you have a book. Although the book is in Mandarin, then you
Oh, so the
get
book
to,
describes your experience going through this
yeah,
program, Come Alive.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So
Yeah.
Come Alive, how much is this program at that time?
How do you mean? What do you mean? How much?
How much is the program for Come Alive at that time?
Oh, at the time, I would say maybe 2,000. Yeah, 2,000.
Okay, it's okay, yeah.
Yeah, for the 5 days program, just the program fee. I remember 2,000. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, and the book you write about your experience. Actually, tell us a little bit about your book, Coming Alive.
Coming alive, yes. Coming alive.
Okay,
So firstly, I just want to really documenting how my life transformed
okay,
because of the Haven training. Yeah, I think many people benefited from different schools of learning, but I just wanted to really respect kind of citation, right? We do everything we
oh
want to
yeah, yes,
citate, yeah, the source. So the book served with this first purpose. I wanted to really respect the source of my growth. So the Haven, I spoke of the what Haven is about. I just said the founders and also some
okay,
meaningful
yeah,
mentors, the leaders team. I just wanted to really mark their names and their influence on me. And then I would say 90% of the book is about the four major theories of the Haven teaching. So the four major theories, one would be communication. Okay.
okay,
So that's really complicated. Not, I would say really important, critical. Communication will kind of go through all our programs because, when you want to learn about yourself or the other, you need to know how to communicate with yourself to begin with, and also talk to the other people. So communication is the first theory, and the second is the self model, thinking of how we can integrate my authenticity, my ideal, my actual self, because sometimes we
oh,
feel split. How can I be authentic, but at the same time I'm in my role as a mother? How can I really striving for my ideal, but at the same time, yeah, respect who I truly am? That the second model, self's model, is a plural. Self's model is an integration of the authentic self, ideal self, and also somewhere in between the actual self. So that's the second model. The third model is resonance. Resonance is about loving. It is, how we actually, I would say the third model is very spiritual.
okay,
Some people will ask, is heaven spiritual? I would say not about religion. I want to say heaven spirituality, it is actually in relationships. There's a saying like, if I can really, be loving with you, maybe from that, eye contact, I see the divinity in your eyes. That's where I, uh, reach for my compassion and loving. So haven spirituality, it is in relationship that we meet each other in our divinity, and there we find our vulnerability, our fears, our yearning, our loving. Okay. So the third model is resonance, speaking that we all coming from the loving source, right? The higher power, the ocean, the energy ocean. However, different schools has different saying of the source of life, but you can say it is loving, it is God, it is nature, it is, the higher power. So from that place, that loving ocean, we become individual, and then we become our individual journey, wanting to prove ourselves, wanting to reestablish ourselves, and their journey become long. Somehow we misunderstood the love into an object that is, exchangeable, or it is outside. We need to pursue something to fulfill our empty heart. So that's all that model is about,
Mhm.
and how we can, become, intimate with each other, loving with each other by remembering we are actually a loving being from the very beginning. So, how can we reach down to our loving being? The practice will be, being vulnerable, being truthful to say who you are without blaming, but being self-responsible, can, be showing our true color. So that's a lot of, things there. So that's the third model, resonance. We can always resonating with each other. Right now, for example, I'm resonating when I'm speaking my truth, and you are acknowledging that. That's a resonance. That's a kind
Okay.
of resonance. So that's the
Oh,
third model. The fourth model is the power and strength. Joseph, I want to pause a bit. Am I speaking too much? Are you
I love it
okay?
here. I'm just trying to guide it here.
Yeah,
Communication, the
right.
self
Yeah,
model, resonance, and number four is the power and strength.
yeah. Are interested in hearing powers and strength?
Of course, of course. Yeah, I want to capture,
Okay.
make sure I document all this good stuff here.
Yeah. So power and strength model is like speaking of the life is a movement, you know. So for example, we are so used to try to, search for the external power, the authority, the achievement, which is necessary. But when we are one-sided into the authority need to approve me, and I need to, search for love or power externally, we lose, our inner strength. So that's
Oh,
the beginning of this continuum. We instead of duality, we rather say it is a continuum. Not
awesome.
black white. It is the gray scale in between. I love power, by the way, and I need power. Nothing wrong being in your achievement, be a successful businessman, but at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time, I would encourage all businessmen, all corporate leaders can slowly come back to their inner strength. The inner strength is, how you can embrace your fears, your
Mm,
vulnerabilities,
yeah.
your sometimes hopelessness, and sometimes maybe meaninglessness, because that's very human. When you can be, dancing in between of the power and then the inner strength, I think that's a beautiful dance and integration of a full human being. You may not be perfect, but you are whole. You are whole. So from that dance, it can be, many other, pairs. For example, when we inhale, we open, but we do need to exhale. We need to rest. So we do need our parasympathetic system that we need to work. We need to fight.
Mm,
And we do need our parasympathetic system. We need to rest. We need to have fun. We need to, just relax. And we need to be in our role, a good teacher, a good leader. But at the same time, you need to find a space that you feel safe to be Joseph, to be Wen Shwu, to be nobody sometimes. So that is a very interesting movement of life
yeah.
that we are nothing wrong. with any position you choose. The only red light will be, as a Chinese medicine said, that you got stuck with certain point. I can only in my role. Losing my role, I'm nothing. So the Chinese doctor would say, "Oh, if you are flowy, if you are breathing, then you are healthy. Only
Mm.
when you got stuck, into certain organ, certain color, certain position, that then the Chinese doctor will say, well, that's the red light." Mhm. Yeah, that's the fourth model. We simply call it simply power trans model, but it's alive. It is life. You can find the pairs.
I love it here, Wen Shwu.
Really.
You tell me these four things here: communications, self-model, resonance, power, and strength.
Right.
When I was listening to you here, I learned a lot of things here. Um, it looks like this Heaven Institute with these two amazing individuals and founders, they're
Yeah.
crafting this sort of psychology, philosophy, and the way of life.
Right. Yeah.
The way of life.
Hmm. Yes.
Wow.
That's what I really admire, because I apply those things and I transformed myself. I can resonate, before, a little Chinese woman yearning for success and looking for love, and feeling really low self-esteem. That was the beginning of my journey, and I began myself. My father is a military officer. You can imagine high pressure. Be good, do good, be useful. My journey started there, and then transformed into, yeah, I'm good enough. I'm beautiful enough. Yeah, just be me is enough. Yeah, that very healing. I think, yeah, many yeah, symptoms or issues or challenges can start from there, by self acceptance, self compassion.
So when you hear all
Yeah,
these wonderful things here, when you were back in UBC, how did you even
yeah.
hear about this Heaven Institute?
Okay, very good question. Actually, my first encountering with Haven when I was actually work for Hewlett Packard, because at the time,
Oh,
I often feel lost. Okay, so my sister, right now, he is also a Haven diploma graduate, Athena, her name. She invited me. Hey, there's a program. The leaders, the faculty came to Taipei. And
I
so I
see.
participated my very first Come Alive. Okay, speaking of Come Alive, my very first Come Alive in Taipei, when I was a corporate woman, businesswoman.
So
I
you did it
remember.
twice. You did it two times. One when you were in HP, and now okay. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, I even bring my computer, to try to type, all the notes. I'm the only person, trying to take notes. I wanted to learn what's the secret of life. I began in my journey there. And then I now learn I don't need to take notes. I really to live in those teachings. Yeah.
So I guess you teach. You take the teaching back in HP in Taiwan,
Yeah.
and then once you come to Vancouver, the
Yeah.
BC, you have an opportunity to go to the in-person course.
Yeah. Yes. I would
Okay.
say that, when I've participated my first course and I know Haven, but I still, hesitate to leave my role, get rid of my high pay. So I would
Yeah.
say, I started being a student, okay, at Haven throughout my business career. Only when I immigrated to Canada, quit my job, I started to be seriously. I want to learn. I want to intern. I want to start a new career. of
Oh,
counseling, of personal growth. And at the time, I took what I learned back to corporations. So that's why I started my company, beginning by designing program for corporate people
for in Taiwan.
communication in Taiwan. So only this
Oh,
then I bring what I learned back to corporations.
so
Yeah.
when you here, at that time you're in Taiwan in HP, you take this course, and you mentioned
Yeah.
you're a student. What does it mean? Do you take regular courses with Haven back then in
Yeah.
Taipei?
Whenever I have time, I
Oh,
registered
really?
at Haven as a student, but Haven won't give you time pressure. You just,
Also, Haven have
when,
a lot of courses for you to take.
yeah, at the time, yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay.
including the deep, no, programs for participants, programs for interns.
Okay, yeah, because you mentioned they have
Yeah.
a diploma program.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. Oh, I
that's
see.
my
Okay.
second
Wow.
stage of learning with Haven. Firstly, I began with a student. Just, I want to resolve my issues. I want to grow. Okay, that's the first stage of my Haven learning. I do have
Oh,
a
that's
lot of
amazing.
issues, relationship issues, career issues. So I just interested in who can help me, who can support me. And
Wow.
then I just find it so interesting. I want to learn more at the background. So I started, after I immigrated to Canada, after I graduated from UBC, I started my internship at Haven. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
can imagine when you back then, when you're working in HP and mental health is not a popular topic or trendy
No,
topic.
no.
It's only
Yeah.
physical health, so it'll be hard
Yeah.
to find a counselor
Right.
for some of those
Right.
issues. Because
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now, the younger
Yeah.
people, they
Yeah.
have an advantage. Mental health
Mm.
is more popular, more widespread.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have more
Right.
access to that counseling that you don't have at that time.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? When I was working for Hewlett Packard, I would say, a lot of me or my colleagues are in denial mode because we judge,
Oh,
clinical, symptoms. It's not us, But now we know the pandemic, is even more popular than COVID-19. The psychological, suffers is
mm,
everywhere. I
yeah,
remember that WHO has the number every 10 people there's 8 is identified with either depression or psychosomatic symptoms.
yeah,
So it's a really high potential. It's part of human, I would say, especially being in this modern society, high stress, fast paced. So I would say, everybody. This should be a kind of a life education for everybody. And I would say I recommend start as early as possible. As early as possible. Yeah.
and right now
Even
it's good
teen.
because
Yeah.
you will be continue doing this to educate the future generation, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's my passion. Yeah.
So when you here, because there's so much to talk about here, and we are near the end of today,
I know.
but
Yeah.
let's continue to talk about it. There's so many topics I want to ask you, how you start the train academy, the counseling, coaching, and all that. And let's come back ASAP here, Wensu.
Really? Okay. Sure.
And Wensu here,
Thank you,
before we
Joseph.
end
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
uh, and we'll put all your details into the YouTube description here. So
Okay.
uh, anybody, the public can contact you to ask more information from you. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. And through Joseph. Yeah, of course. I'm right now, yeah, part of the member of Joseph Clinic. Yeah. Uh-huh. Very
Wensu, we'll talk next time.
okay, sure.